Hey, welcome back, Flair community. I hope you're all well and having an incredible start to the week as always. Looking pretty busy in the chat. I mean, we've got Shakran, we've got Freddie, we've got TDFS, we've got Professor in the house, Steve, Valiant Energy, aka Bot. John D, we've got Thomas in the house, Tasmanian, Anna, Death Ranger, Senor Steak, Jimmy Thing, Experimental Test 1, AA Best, Corey. I hope you guys are well, and yeah, it's been a busy week as always in the Flair community. Lots of exciting things coming and being built on top of the network, but you know, if I'm honest, I don't think we're yet to really see the potential of the Flair network. You know, some of these really novel concepts of connecting everything and sort of bridging between different networks, that's really yet to kick off, so it's all still to look forward to. But today we're going to be jumping into the weekly news as always. It's going to be a quick fire thing, quite a lot of interesting developments, and yeah, we're going to go through that and see what's been happening. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and with that being said, we're going to jump right in. So this is Flair Metrics. It's flairmetrics.io. It's a website where you can get the statistics on various signal providers, and these are the top performers for the week on Flair. Topping the charts is FLR Labs. In second place, we have Ivy Oracle. In third place, we have Solarius. In fourth place, we have Flair Beacon, and in fifth place, Use Your Spark. They're doing pretty good, and it's actually quite refreshing to see, you know, of the top five, only two are over delegated. You can see that all of these explanation marks means that they are over the vote power cap. I mean, these are pretty substantial, you know, 3.5%, 4%. But it is interesting, you know, I'm really liking the fact that we're sort of giving these other signal providers a bit of a chance, and you know, sort of allowing these people that are providing essential infrastructure services to get a little bit of piece of the action too. Just a quick reminder, I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but Gene, this is Gene Lolkema on Twitter, and he's got a website which is really informative if you're wondering about the various reward rates for the signal providers. I mean, here's just a couple of examples. He does charts very regularly, and if you go to the top here, he's got a couple of websites, one for Songbird and one for the Flair network too. Again, it's sort of like Flair Metrics, but if you go over to here, you can actually see a chart which I think it's really nice. Obviously, the data for this epoch has only just started, but you can sort of see these sort of develop as the epoch progresses. So definitely worth checking out if you haven't already. Over here, we have the sparklesnft.com, and this is currently the only NFT marketplace on the Flair network. Now, there are a few on Songbird, but I guess this is the only place you can trade NFTs on Flair at the minute, but I am sure that there are more in the works. The top collections for this week, we've got Flair Apes topping the charts. We've got S-Toads of the Songbird network in second. In third place, we've got the Flair Community Lucky Claw collection. I do have my suspicions of why this might be, because I have been dropping a lot of information to the current holders. In fourth place, we have Floor Sweeper, a pretty new collection. I'm yet to really investigate what they are all about. And in fifth place, we have Doodle Bunny. We've got quite a few Doodle individual bunnies to give away as part of the Lucky Claw collection. I think they're doing so well because of the recent breeding functionality that they've launched. So that's the top 5 for this week. If we jump over here, we've got the Flair Network's official account, and Flair API portal has integrated with Google Cloud Marketplace. This is an announcement that we've heard quite a while ago, and it's making APIs for Algorand, Binance's BNB Smart Chain, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Flair, Litecoin, Songbird, and XRP available to Google Cloud's market users. All new connected chains will also be added. And if you're wondering what the hell this means, the Flair network team are basically building an API. It's a way that developers can query certain information about these different networks, so it makes it really feasible to get data from these chains without having to run a node or query it using and integrating separate chains. We're just going to be able to do it from one place and have the single source of truth. And the Flair tagline is sort of evolving into 2 different things. We've obviously got connect everything, but Flair is now touting itself as the blockchain for data, and this is going to be incredibly important for interoperability moving forward, because you need to have that reliability when it comes to data, because at the end of the day, money is at stake, and it's extremely important to be able to rely on this data 100%, and that's what Flair are offering here with their portal services hosted by Google Cloud. Here's something that I think's pretty interesting. In fact, we're going to read this one first, and then we're going to go back and read my little take on it. Flair's mission is simple but powerful: to make blockchain more powerful by providing developers with secure access to a wider range of decentralized data. By doing so, Flair enables the creation of new dApps, or decentralized applications, that are more relevant to more people, helping drive wider adoption of blockchain technology. And this is the real idea, having one network which can source data from multiple different chains, and for that data to be extremely accurate and, more importantly, reliable. So here's what I thought. To connect everything is no easy task, but it is essential to increase adoption of this incredible technology. Flair's novel protocols are the catalyst for developers to create seamlessly interoperable applications spanning multiple networks. Currently, each network is its own network, right? A siloed network, and the Flair network is aiming to bring everything together, and I've often referred to it in the past as a community of communities. And I think that's what it will hopefully evolve into in the future. And like I said with the introduction of this video, we're really yet to see this kick off, and that means that there's a lot to look forward to moving forward. The Mandrills project, we've got a bit of a revamp in terms of their aesthetics. This is the blue minerals. They are actually a sponsor of the Lucky Claw project, meaning that we do have, I think, maybe 20 or 30 of these NFTs to give away, and they're currently trading on Sparkles. So happy days. I just thought I'd give you a little bit of an update there. This is an interesting project that I'm really looking into, actually, and I think they have some really novel concepts. So goodbye NFTs linked to clunky image files that might or might not someday cease to exist. I guess this is referring to IPFS. It's a decentralized storage mechanism. For Pico, we use scalable vector graphics, less than 20 kilobytes in size and completely stored on the blockchain. It's a game changer for crypto game assets. And what does that mean? Well, a vector is basically a sort of a shape that can be scalable, very large, without compromising the quality. Now, these are obviously pixel images, but if we look here and pause it, this is basically the data that defines this drawing. It's got the colors, it's got the shapes, and it's all done with just this very primitive text. And that means that the actual footprint or the data storage required is very small indeed. And I've not seen this before But you know, I welcome it. It's very interesting, and even their project as a whole. I'm looking into this. I believe they're collaborating with Flair Oracle. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this project develops, because it seems like they have some original ideas. You know, it's not just a cookie cutter sort of copy and paste sort of thing. They're sort of pushing outside of the boundaries, and that's something that I love to see. So I'll keep you updated as and when news comes out from Pixel Chain Games. Moving on here, Wrappy Wallet. I've not really heard of Wrappy Wallet, if I'm honest, but they have now integrated Flair Network and the FLR token, and they got 25,000 followers, so not too bad, you know. And I think it's important for just adoption, wider adoption. You know, if any wallet's integrating the Flair token, then it's definitely worth mentioning, and only a positive in my eyes. FTSO Au coming here, and they've been slowly improving their reward rate, and they're currently sitting at 13th. This was a couple of days ago, but still. And yeah, they are actually a sponsor of the Lucky Claw project, and I'm actually very fortunate to have received some of their fees, you know. So if we go back to this here, you can see that there's a lot of people that, well, every single signal provider, they have a fee associated with their service. So you delegate, and the signal providers, for providing signals and providing this infrastructure, they take a bit of a fee. Now, with FTSO Au being a sponsor of the Lucky Claw project, each and every month I get a share of the fees that they actually accrue throughout the month. And this is actually going to a new concept. It's called the S-Grow. I was very proud of that name. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, I guess, in the next couple of days, because there's a lot going on with that collection. But let's swiftly move on, because I'm going to mention that in a second. But here's some news from %. If you don't know %, they're basically an educational platform where you can buy educational courses, really high quality, recorded in 4K, and you're able to sell them. So you buy the courses, you ingest the content, and then you have the opportunity to sell them at a later date. It's a much better alternative than just buying a course online and that's the end of it, right? It's a very novel concept, and I'm very impressed with the quality of some of their courses, and I guess the teasers that they've been showing in recent weeks. Here's some important dates coming up. May the 22nd, creator announcements begin. So there's going to be many different creators, and it's going to span a lot of different topics. And I actually did a interview with the % team, and it was really great to get their insight of how this is all going to evolve. And it seems like they've got some really prominent figures in their respective domains. I'm looking forward to these announcements coming up, starting on the 22nd of May. The first web app launch is coming on the 19th of June, so not even that far away. You know that time flies in crypto. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on this. And we also have some actual courses to give away, because % were one of the first sponsors of the Lucky Claw project too. So stay tuned for that. Yes, in fact, they had a competition, and it's been going on for quite a while. I was fortunate enough to win this. It was basically an invite competition for their Discord, and as I said, you know, all of the assets that I win for this, it actually went to the Lucky Claw Treasury, or the escrow account as I've rebranded it to. So that's only growing, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit more moving on. And this is what I was talking about, right? The Flirt community Lucky Claw royalty splitter has been rebranded to encapsulate its true potential. The royalty splitter sounded like it was just funded from the royalties, but in actual honesty, this account, or this treasury, the S-Grow, as I've called it, is actually being sourced from actually has multiple income streams. We've got the royalties from the secondary sales as one example. We've got the FTSO sponsorship, or the signal provider sponsorship, which is currently FTSO Au, and we also have dApps that I've built, and we're going to hear a little bit more about that in the near future. We've got a governance system, the first governance system, which is going to be able to be integrated with any NFT project on the network. And also, I don't know, it's pretty interesting. You guys are going to see soon enough, and it's going to set a foundation for the floor price for the collection, because, you know, if every holder gets 5,000 FLR, then it makes sense that that would be the floor price, right? This was sort of gone a little bit incognito at the minute. This is the Flair community coin. It has been sort of released, but just to the YouTube members and the Patreon members and holders of the Lucky Claw. But you're going to be hearing a little bit more about this in the coming weeks, or I guess coming days. We've had a big reshuffle of the website here, sort of breaks down the tokenomics. There are a number left. There's going to be 3 phases, and this is probably the best price that you're going to get it. But the actual website is definitely evolving, and there's going to be a lot more talk of this in the future. I've been working really hard building something special, and you guys are going to see it soon enough. One of the things that does need updating is this map here. Although it does seem very complicated, this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the Lucky Claw collection. And, you know, I'm working hard to make it the best NFT collection on the network. This is not just a generic, you know, we make some artwork, we sell, and then move on to the next one. This is my focus for the next 3 years, and it's going to be a thriving ecosystem, and I just honestly can't wait to tell you everything that I've been working on. The people in the Discord know, the holders of the Lucky Claw NFTs know, because they get the inside scoop, right? Flirt Space, they've created some really interesting applications, one of them being I guess a predictor or a projection of the Flair drops that you can expect each and every month. Obviously, this is decreasing as exchanges release more Flair and there's more WFLR in existence. But one of the interesting applications that they released very recently, just a couple of days ago, is this one. It's the contract call decoder DApp. And it basically, how can I say it? It sort of deciphers the contract calls that you use, and it's a way that you can sort of digest what's happening behind the scenes whenever you call a specific contract. So, you know, when you call a contract, it may actually be interacting with multiple other contracts, right? And this is just a way, I guess, a way to add a little bit more transparency. And they're creating some applications that are really unique, and I think that's great. You know, I think it's great to have these tools available on the network, and yeah, Flair.space are doing a great job. This was actually last week's news, I believe. Internal testing is now concluded, and the Enosis Bridge connecting the Flair network's Songbird network to Zinfin, that's XDC, is now available, and this has actually been really successful, and we've seen the demand there. They've been monitoring it over the course of the past week. This is what it sort of looks like. Week 1, there was a hard limit of 25,000 XDC per day, and that's increased 5 times higher to 125,000. And I'm sure week 3 is going to increase if we continue to hit this threshold, this limit, right? And this is very important because they're actually doing this for a reason, right? They don't want to bring all of this liquidity on and, you know, just have all of this liquidity, which may be open to vulnerabilities. What they're doing is gradually increasing the cap or the limit each and every week, only if the limit is reached for 7 days, right? And this is so that they can monitor the progress and sort of see how it's evolving and sort of apply some analytics to this bridge. Currently, they've said that it's been working exactly as expected, and I think this is going to be a turning point for the Songbird network, allowing an external network to bring in liquidity and value onto the network. It's very interesting, you know, recently, there's not that many assets outside of Songbird. Everything's sort of tied to Songbird, right? You buy Songbird, you bring it onto the Songbird network, and then you exchange for these other assets. But what we really need to increase the value of Songbird is multiple pairings, right? We need pairings in other assets. And, you know, one of the things that Enosis have done is they've managed to get listings on centralized exchanges. So you can buy XFi and SFIN with other assets like USDT, for example. So once this has been thoroughly tested, I think we could see a rapid expansion of other bridges that are being integrated into Songbird. And don't get this twisted, this is not F assets, this is Flair Wrap, which is built by Enosis. It is the first bridge on Songbird, but there's going to be many bridges moving forward. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. And you know, you see this here, the little stake. This is week 4. And what does this mean? Well, if I'm honest, I think it means that it's going to be staking for XDC. So if you are holding XDC and you want to bring it onto the Songbird network, I'd recommend doing it week 3 maybe, or this week. The bridge limit does get reached pretty fast. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And I'll probably make a tutorial once we have a little bit more, a bit of a higher limit, so I'm able to walk through the process without having that time constraint. And, you know, as with any DeFi protocol, the earlier that you get into the pools, the bigger your share of the pools, meaning the bigger returns or the bigger APY that you can receive. So it's very exciting when a new pool opens because it's almost a race to get that high APY. Right, almost last, we've got this here. This is a super bad series. They've been doing a lot of things recently, and they've sort of just introduced their dark metaverse, and you can sort of see a bit of a promo reel here. I think it's really interesting, this metaverse concept. It's going to be exciting to see who pulls it off first. We obviously had Xtoads, who released their Unreal Engine game on the XRP ledger. That's really exciting. I've been fortunate enough to play that for quite some time now. Not that I'm very good at it, but still, it just shows the potential of this this engine, right? Unreal Engine. It's basically a tool that people can use to create really immersive environments and worlds. And there are a few projects looking to do this with the metaverse. So one of them would be Expector, who is again a sponsor of the Lucky Claw project. We've got Superbad series, and we also have Xtoads as well, who are building Songbird City. So lots going on. I really can't wait for this to come to fruition, because the first people that actually build a metaverse with really good like in-game economics, I think it's going to be a sight to behold. At the minute, Decentraland is it was touted as the next big thing, but unfortunately that's very dry these days. There's only a couple of there's not much activity there, let's just say that. So with that being said, please feel free to jump onto the Discord if you are a Patreon member. We have the weekly chats, and if you go right to the bottom here, we're going to be on the Patreon call just after this stream. If you are holding a Lucky Claw NFT, be sure to verify yourself, because this is where I give you all of the sneak peek information, bit of the inside scoop. But that's pretty much it for this week. I'd just like to thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, have a great week. There's still many days left within the week. I'll be back on Thursday for the poker stream, and of course every Thursday we do the community chinwags where everyone is welcome, and that's over on Discord. So with that being said, please feel free to like the video, and yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.